Good morning. It's just after 5, and this is the first time I've seen the sunrise. And there's a little bit more color in person than what you're probably going to be seeing in the camera. I've been up for, 20 minutes. I've got a pot of oatmeal ready to go. I'm just getting out of my tent. I am headed out of Christie Springs. I have, I think, about 6 miles to my first water source, and it's 3/10 of a mile off trail. So is my second water source today. And so I'm going to be doing some extra mileage, and I wanted to get 14 and a half trail miles today because that's the next really good water source. And if I don't do that, I'm going to have to either have a short day or be at a water source that maybe isn't much of a water source. So I left camp at 6:25 this morning. I wanted to go 14 and a half miles today just because of the water sources. The first one is okay. The second one is slightly questionable. And then the third one is really good. And that would be at the 14 and a half mile mark. But since both of the first two are more than a mile detour off the trail, that's going to be 16 and a half miles. That's a really big day for me. It's pretty this morning. I'm just going to get to my first water source and take stock, see how it's been going. I have my trekking poles put away and my umbrella put away, which, as long as the trail is fairly smooth, not too many crazy rocks or blowdowns, I do better without the trekking poles, and I can go quite a bit faster. Today I am not stopping for anything except planned breaks. I'm just going to keep on hiking, so the filming might be a little different. That is a big blowdown. I wonder how people are getting around this one. There's 2 of them. I think I have to go down the hill and around. This tree has not been down long because it's still got green needles on it. Getting over blowdowns to get by blowdowns. This is the kind of hiking you gotta just love. Okay, let's hope we don't have a lot of those today. That's not to mention drain my energy. And again. Here we go again. I don't know why these big trees have to fall right across the trail. There we go. Okay. Back to moving, except that there's the next one. Okay, I think I'm going to go under this one. Okay, I scooched under that, okay? Now we'll hope that's the last of those pesky little blowdowns. I've been over about 8 blowdowns since the last time I filmed. Now I've got this mess coming up. This is really going to impact my ability to get those miles in, because this takes a lot of extra effort. Now I'm going to have to go around this one. Well, I just realized I did it again. I'm several miles down the trail and I forgot to start my tracker when I left camp this morning. In the first 2 hours, I managed to make 4.5 miles, which is good considering all the blowdowns I had to deal with. I'm mostly past them. I see one now and then, but not every 200 feet. So, but already my legs are slowing down and feeling tired. Of course, I haven't taken a break, and I don't plan to take a break until I get down to that lake. That's my first water source. Or the trail junction if I decide not to go to that lake. On the plus side, the trail has been primarily level. Generally, I'm always either going slightly up or slightly down, but nothing too noticeable. Really, as far as elevation goes, it's been very manageable. This poor little bird has his leg caught in this bush. I gotta see if I can get him loose. Well, as soon as I bent over, he exerted himself mightily and got out himself. Hopefully he didn't hurt his leg. I was having some problems with my left hip flexor just from going this morning so fast and climbing over all those blowdowns. So I stopped and did some reflexology around my hips and on my knees. It's better. I can still feel it's tired, but I think I'm still on the plan to go those 16 miles today. And if I don't go down to either of the lakes, that will actually cut it down from 16.5 to 16, maybe even a little less. That's a pretty rock face there. Really hope I'm not going up there. And look how much closer we are, and I have been switchbacking up for the last 5 or 10 minutes. I broke my sun umbrella out a little bit ago. I'm kind of out of the trees and it is hot and I'm climbing, so it was time. About to say downhill, but I can already see the uphill. It is 10:10 and I have done 7.5 miles. I thought I'd done a lot more than that, but that's okay. I have 7
miles left to go. And I have just over a half a liter of water. I just finished downing some coconut water, so I should be good for a little while. And I am going to skip that other lake and ration this out and get those miles, and it'll cut my miles to 14.5. I'm not sure where I came up with that 16. I guess I was thinking I was going to go to both those lakes. But I'm not going to either one. I'm just going to tough it out till I get there and drink a lot of water this afternoon. Check that spider out. Never seen anything like that before. He's a big boy. I came up and over that rock face there in a fairly low spot, fortunately. And then now you can see here through the trees that we're on the other side of it. Pretty sure that lake I'm seeing out there that I thought was maybe 4 Mile Lake is not. I think I'm up here and seeing the Klamath Lakes. Not sure which one this is. I'm not even sure if it's Klamath Lake, but I'm going to check that when I take my next break. So those lakes are not. They're Marguerite and Trapper Lakes, which I'm pretty sure is part of the Sky Wilderness. I have done a little over 2 miles and drank all the water I had rationed for this and could have used more. So I'm thinking I may take a side trip down to that lake after all. If I continue straight through on the trail, I only have 5.1 miles, but I am really low on water. I'm really thirsty and hungry, and I can't have lunch without water. So I think I'm going to leave my pack at this trail junction coming up and just walk down there with my lunch and my filter and take a break there, get some water. It's not even noon yet, so it's not like I need to hurry. I have all day. I could go hang out down there during the heat of the day and leave there, and I think I'd only have 4 miles or so to hike from there. So we'll see. I seem to change my mind every 5 minutes, so right now I'm just resting. Look at that. I wonder if that is the lake I'm going to. One of those. Sure is pretty. They got bright red, these Indian paintbrushes are. It blows me away that they're a bleeding heart all the way up here where it's so dry. It must be a different variety. The trail is barely a trail. It's just a slightly leveler spot on the side of a steep cliff down to rock fields. Well, they are not the lakes I'm going to. I must have missed a turn about, I don't know, half a mile back. I'm way off in the Tules, and I'm headed back through all that rock. I don't think I filmed that rock that I just hiked through. It was pretty awful. Now I get to go back through it, back uphill try to find the trail. Ugh. Not happy about that at all. All this rock, huh? It just moves constantly under your feet. You never know which muscles need to engage before you're doing it, because they're just moving all the time. Everything under your feet moves. Okay, I'm going back up there. So here, I think, is the junction I missed. I was supposed to go this way, and somehow this seemed like the side trail. Oh. That sign is pretty deceiving. Huh. Oh well, I'm back here now. I have 1.1 miles to the lake. I'm tired, I'm thirsty. I'm gonna go knock it out. Supposedly it's downhill now. Hopefully not in those rocks, and hopefully not with blowdowns. I think I might survive it if I don't have to deal with those two things. Look at this hillside. It's covered in flowers. It's really pretty. This trail has given me no breaks today. I have a little bit of downhill, but it's still all rocky. Plenty of blowdowns. And now we're headed back uphill. I'm getting close to the junction for the lake though, so can't come soon enough. Well, there's a cairn here. There's a cairn here. The path is marked with logs. And there's a sign here, which is on the wrong side of the tree if you're going northbound. And I missed the whole thing. Hiked another, I don't know, less than 1/10 of a mile up the trail and missed this. I need to get some water and food in me before I mess up seriously. Ah, there it is. I made it. Well, I'm not quite there yet, but I'm awful close. This is such a nice little lake. Not very easy to filter out of because it's very shallow, but I'm making do. I got a full liter of water. I drank 1/2 to 3/4 of a liter. I've got another 1/2 liter to use for my lunch. And I'm going to fill another liter, and I think I'm going to go on. I don't think I want to camp here. It's going to be very damp and cold here. And there's another girl behind me that's planning to camp here, and there's only one tent site. And so I'm actually afraid she also missed the turnoff. She missed that first turnoff I missed, and I think she may have missed this one as well because she wasn't very far behind me, and I've been here a while. I was just looking at all this poop on the ground here. That looks too big to be deer. I'm thinking that might be elk. It would be really cool to be here and see an elk. This is so pretty. That other girl did not show up. Hope she has enough water to finish the day. Tempting to stay here, but I want to make it to Mazama village tomorrow night, and I need to finish the next 3.5 miles to be able to do that, so that's what I'm going to do. But I do want to take a long break. It's 2:45, and it will probably take me 3 or 4 hours to do those miles. My legs are pretty much like rubber at this point. But I have enough water, and I'm probably going to stop and rest as soon as I find some shade. Then I'm probably going to stop and eat my dinner, and I'll just get into camp late. So, yep, time to get hiking.
could look pretty smoky out there to the west, so hopefully that's just, I don't know where that's coming from.
Yeah, we got some small thunderheads forming over here too.
Unless, yeah, whatever that haze is out.
I am just hiking on top of the world up here, and my legs can tell you all about it. I keep thinking I'm almost at the top of this mountain, but it just keeps going up and up and up. This trail is brutal today. Way back there in the distance, you can see Upper Klamath Lake. And above me is the highest point on the trail here. At least I sure hope so. Oh, I've not seen any of these. There have been so many flowers today. And this trail has been so hard, I've filmed almost none of them. I've got 1.5 miles left to the spring. I could camp before there, but as you can see, this ain't camping country. And right at the very top, a pretty patch of flowers. And this way we're seeing these views that we've been looking at for a while. And turn around and we see these views. It looks like the trail's going down. I hope it keeps going down. I've been really hoping the trail would go downhill because I don't want to camp at this high of elevation. I think it's bothering me. I haven't looked at what the elevation is, but I think it's fairly significant because I feel more short of breath than I normally do, and it will be very cold up here tonight, so down we go. This trail just isn't going to let me go easy today. As soon as I came off of all that shaly rock, I got back into blowdowns. I've got 1/10 of a mile left to go, and hopefully this is the last one. Well, I'm almost to the spring, or the creek, whatever it is, the water. Now, this has been a tough day, but I think once I get laid down and resting, I'll be feeling pretty good and ready to eat and sleep. And I may not film again because I think there are a number of people here at the spring. There's the creek, and there is nobody here that I've seen so far. Though there are a couple of trails that go back into the woods. There's definitely plenty of water here. The campsites are concerning. They all have dead trees around them. I think I'm just going to camp here and hope that none of these trees fall on me. Most of them have the tops out of them already. So I guess I'm just going to take my chances. This is a really beautiful buck. He's just hanging around camp. Not too close. Every once in a while I startle him and he goes thumping off through the brush, but he always comes back.